So we have had interviews, conversations with Jeremiah Sissel, fresh out of Lexington. We've had Chloe Hernandez out of our Cincinnati market. We've had all
Chloe
kinds.
Hernandez Geiler.
Geiler, yeah. I was getting there.
I didn't want to confuse anyone.
Sure.
I was confused.
I understand, and I apologize. But, I mean, this is special, right? Because Ben Keenan is here. I don't want to leave out the fact that Jeff Stevens is here because I've received a lot of constructive criticism about ignoring him. But Ben, we want to give you our undivided attention. From what we understand, you've prepared a special song for us today. We'll get to that in a minute. But Ben, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. We've not had you on yet, but we are glad that you accepted the invitation to come down.
I mean, how many episodes have there been?
143. Yeah, a lot.
100 different names. You can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's a secret.
It is the secret
It's a
podcast.
secret. So it's ironic that you're here, and the reason why I say it's ironic is that probably the very first podcast that I ever listened to was a recommendation by you. I was not a big podcaster back in the day, and so for the viewers, for those that don't know, I come to this friendship a little bit later in life, but you guys have history. You have childhood memories. Mm-hmm. What is that? One of you tell us, what is the timeline of events here when little Ben and little Jeff first ran into each other?
I'll let you tell it.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, as you get older, memories start to corrupt truth. So all I can tell you is my memory of the event.
Sure.
And his just may be different. Well, I think we met when we were 8 years old.
Okay.
So I think that would have been 1990 or 1991.
So, I mean,
About right.
I'm a little older.
Yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Just months. But we were playing Buddy League basketball. We were 8 years old. I played for Holiday Inn. Jeff played for a purple team. I'm not sure the name, but I just
Apgar Family Practice.
Nice.
The Apgars against the Holiday Inns.
Yep.
Okay.
And we were two of the better players in the league, and I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Never met him
Wow.
before.
The modesty in this conversation already. Two of the best Buddy League ballers.
I think I know where he's going with this.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
about
no.
to be very not modest.
Go on.
Actually, you may remember it a little differently, but I remember our dads coached us hard, and they kind of taught us not to put up with any bullshit.
Okay.
And so I played very physical, and I'd never come up against somebody else that played physical.
In Buddy League basketball.
We're
Go
8.
on. Yeah, at 8.
And I come up against Jeff, and this guy's playing as hard as me, and I'm like, what is this? We about get in a fight when we're 8 years old, the very first time I ever met him.
Is that how you remember it?
Isn't that great?
Yeah. Do you remember it that way?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so you
And then what I don't actually remember is how we became friends after that, though. Did
Well,
we play all-star basketball together?
I would
in
guess at
uniform?
detention at school. I mean, you two were child bullies.
We
That
were
finally.
definitely bullies.
Okay.
Can't you tell? It's
Yes.
Oh, we weren't.
I wish this chair was taller. I already feel at a disadvantage in this conversation. Okay.
Well,
So
you shouldn't feel at a disadvantage because I happen to know Ben. I've done a little digging on Aaron. See, he didn't know this was coming.
no,
In
you've
honor
never
of this-
prepared for one before.
In honor of this special guest appearance here, that I know that we like to gang up on him once in a while, right? Did you know? We've heard a lot about Aaron, right? All of his career arc, lots of jobs, but he's an athlete himself. Yeah. Did you know?
curling.
No, wait. In high school,
This was a community service.
not only was he the captain of the team,
Oh my God.
actually started it, founded it at his high school, the bowling team.
I mean, are we surprised?
Go on. No, go on. Go on about how.
I think it speaks for itself. Anyway, back to the story here.
No, not back to the story. Okay, number one, I'm not a good bowler. All right, I was not inspired by what's a bowling movie? The Big. Kingpin.
I'd leave it.
No,
They
the
say in
viewers
politics, if you're explaining
The
you're
viewers
losing.
deserve to know what happened.
All right.
Okay, I mean, they'll build a memorial to me at some point over this, okay?
Wow. There's the mouse we were looking for.
The principal came to me and he said, we're trying to start this bowling league and no one will sign up. And we think that if a couple of the class officers would sign up, others would join. All right?
I wonder why he came to you.
Because I was a class officer. I said that part of it. I was class president.
Okay.
Now, was that a big deal? No, there was 37 of us. Okay, so I didn't have to swing a lot of votes to get the seat. But I got the seat, all right? And I'm a leader, okay? A natural born leader. And so
I agree.
I signed up for this bowling league. And when I don't want to disrespect bowlers because they have a skill that is unique and it's a sport, okay? I have never been so bad at something in all of my life.
Bad bowler.
Oh, I was awful, okay? I was awful.
Well, isn't everybody who's supposed to just come out of the gates hot?
I'll tell you who wasn't. The other schools we played,
Really?
they were pretty good. Yeah, we took some beatings that year.
What
yeah.
was your highest score you ever
God,
rolled?
I don't know. I mean, I got in triple digits, but I think because the gutter guards were. I was horrible.
Wait a minute.
Stop it.
You didn't have a competitive high school bowling league with the gutter guards up. Are you being serious?
No.
Okay, thank
I
you.
was
No,
concerned
but
as
I
well.
was really bad at it. All right. So
It's like
believe
playing basketball with a big funnel out of the hoop in high school or something.
That'd be comical to see. As
Anyways, we've been friends since we were little kids, and it started off with a real competitive nature, but yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of good memories along the way.
Can you
Cheers,
imagine
brother.
that we were
No.
competitive with
no,
each other?
absolutely not. And then so you guys remain friends through school. You end up at some point you end up at the same high school. Is that right? Why am I telling this story? You guys.
Because this is what you do for us.
You're the man in the chair.
Yeah, and then you got. I feel like Larry King would have quit by now, though. This is ridiculous. Why is this? So you guys.
The story's not even that interesting. We've been friends a real long time.
We grew up like brothers. We
Yeah, there it
stayed
is.
at each other's house all the time.
Right.
along
It
with
was something
Matt.
special.
And
Matt
what's
was
interesting,
there.
when I met Matt too, I thought about this on the way over. I hadn't thought about this in a long time. But the first time that I became friends with Matt, Jeff was there. Was we were playing all-star baseball. Matt was 15-year-old. We were 14 playing on the team, and we weren't starting. We were younger kids, and he was for some reason I think he was in right field.
I forgot about this. You actually got in a fight with him too,
Yeah,
didn't you?
and then we became friends.
I swear I forgot all about that until you just brought it up. That's funny.
So he was playing right field, and there was a ball hit. I thought he should have caught it. So I ripped his ass when he came off the field. I was on the bench. I was like, and then Jeff stood up for Matt and was like, dude, he couldn't have caught that if he was Gary Sheffield. Like, really taking up
Sure.
for it. And so I don't know what that says about me, that my two best friends I have in life that I tried to fight
Had
when we
fist fights
yeah.
with. I see. Well,
Hey, Village Caregiving.
yeah. Well, that's so. Where all of this goes is years later, and you guys are really old, so many years later, I'm sitting at my desk in Russell, Kentucky one day, just minding my own business, being a steward of the community that I was, and in walks this Freddie Prinze Jr. looking gorgeous man. All right? Stud. Well dressed. I said, well, I mean, is the Oscars in town? I didn't know what was happening. And this guy strolls into my office and he says, my name's Ben and I'm with Village Caregiving. I said, well, hello, Ben. I'm Aaron. And the conversation starts from there. And we develop this professional relationship where we find opportunities to help each other.
You can't say the word friend, huh?
No, because
we never fought.
We've never fought. That's why we've never had that fist fight before. So we developed this friendship, and at this time the company's small. There's 4 or 5 locations. Ashland is getting started. Ashland, Kentucky office is getting started, and fast forward a year or so later, and I come over after conversations with you to work at the Ashland office. And so, good or bad, everything will point back to I came on the scene because of you. So I take all the credit for that you like. I think that, again, if there's memorials built, that should be your crowning achievement.
Wow.
You found me.
We found you.
Yeah.
And
So
saved
would
you.
you like to say thank you or anything? Sorry.
Thanks.
No, so that's I tell everyone we do a ton of interviews together when we do for new hires, And my story with Village Caregiving starts with Ben, and then I interview with Jeff Stevens, who had been up billing the VA all night. He comes to the interview with a hoodie on, mildly angry. And I have no idea if I've done great at the interview. You asked me political questions. You like really pinned me down on politics.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had no idea if I was going to get the job or not.
Political
You said,
questions.
I had mentioned that part of my background was that I had worked on some local campaigns. And you're like, well, what party affiliation were they? I don't think you cared about the party affiliation. You just wanted to see how I would handle challenging questions. And
Well, I was going to say, because I wouldn't
yeah,
have.
no, it was
was
clear.
just putting you on the
were just,
spot.
yeah, you were absolutely just messing with me. So
I actually remember this now.
Oh, it
and
was-
I remember
yeah.
you asked Jeff a question. I won't repeat it now. What his answer was. So,
Well, let's just go for it.
yeah, we can edit it.
and then you were eventually like, "What party are you with?" And Jeff just goes, "Green Party."
That was a joke that I had heard.
That was its joke.
Yeah,
It was. I
Yeah.
ripped that off from who said that?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it
No,
was
it
you.
was
It's kind of
somebody.
like your
The
dad
joke
with
went
the
something
quote.
like Green Party. Go, and I don't mean Ralph Nader's Green Party.
Well,
I mean, we run a business.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
So Ben, what is it? Because a lot of people will wonder. Jeff's asked me before, what does Ben Keenan do here, right? And I've never known how to answer that. I've always said things like, I'm
I've
kidding.
asked you that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it that Ben does? I'm like, I don't know. What is your official title? Let's go through the thing here. What is it that you do at Village Caregiving?
My title is managing partner.
Managing partner.
Yeah.
And so Wade's a partner, so you manage Wade. Is that
Yeah.
Okay.
Wade is a managing partner as well. So our buddy Wade. I'm not going to beat up on Wade.
we
This
wish
is
he could
your
be
time.
here.
Try.
Oh, I know.
You're trying to.
I just want
distract
to, I
from
want to
your-
deflect this all to Wade. No, so you're a managing partner. Your current duties are a ton of operations, but you work under the business development
Yeah.
bucket
Yeah, I
of
mean,
Village Caregiving.
really to break it down, man, the way that I look at it is my role in the company is to try to help it run efficiently from the ops side with you. What type of processes can we put in place that allow us to be more efficient, and also to look for new markets. Like really, I just want to be there on this team to make it better in any way possible. I don't want to be pinned down to one thing. It doesn't fit my personality. I like to use creativity. But yeah, so right now I love the business development aspect of it. It's what gets me excited about the business. I think that's something that Jeff started to really get excited about too. I think it's an arena on the business development team where you get to deal with, you're able to problem solve in a very creative way, and that's something that gets my juices flowing. Also, just to go out with new markets and help the business grow, but also grow in a healthy way, and also to really help us diversify our book of business so we have a strong foundation of what the company is, and so it can grow even more. So,
Well, you are responsible for a lot of launch locations. You go out and launch. We kind of use this analogy that on the operations side, we're orbit, and you guys on business development are launch. So we all work together, and a lot of the roles can be interchangeable at times. But you guys are the negative 60 days launch to launch day, and then moving forward, 2-3 months, whatever the location needs. And then it gets up into orbit, and this thing's a satellite location, and operations is kind of they're managing and overseeing that. But you're responsible in your role for introducing our culture, our organization, our way of doing things to the new executive director in that market, the new market itself, the referral sources, the community partners, all of that stuff. And you do it great. You're a process guy. You've been known in Village Caregiving. You're the one that really started to develop these duplicated processes that can be repeated in different markets. What is so important about the culture and the organization that makes us different when you go into where are you going into right now?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque. When you go into Albuquerque, what are the priorities there for you when establishing a Village Caregiving?
Well, I really want the individual, the executive director, to feel valued. I think it's very easy within a corporation or a large company for them to get lost and not to feel connected to what the company is. I've worked at corporations before whenever I would come in and work extremely hard, but my efforts never showed themselves in the end results.
Okay.
And I want the directors to understand that their efforts that they do on a daily basis show in the end results. And so I want them to feel valued as a person, because if they feel valued, they're going to work hard and they're going to be happy. And I care about everybody that works here. I want people to be happy in their role, because I've been in situations where it's soul sucking, and that's terrible for a person's health. And I don't want other people to experience that. So if we can value them as employees and listen to them and show them why we do things, and just incorporate them into the culture, because we all have different personalities. You all know this, I'm an extremely introverted guy. I'm not a real lovey person or by any means, so I can probably come off cold sometimes, but in that very beginning, I need to understand that that's how I can be perceived, and I don't want to be perceived that way, because that's really not who I am. But I want individuals to feel like they're a part of what we're trying to accomplish, and so they can see their role in the growth of the company.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Sorry, host.
No.
I mean, it was
No,
a good,
I mean, no,
I
it's-
like hearing
yeah.
that kind of stuff, because it's so much of what Ben has done has taken the culture and spread it all over the place and really created a lot of it too. I mean, and you mentioned coming from corporations. That's something that when Matt and Andrew and I founded the company, and Ben has been there almost from day one in terms of all the growth, we didn't have any of this corporate background at all. So this is just kind of some guys doing some stuff
Right.
that we hope and think is right. And Ben just had experience of both. I think you brought to the table the best parts of places you worked, and the parts, and you also used the worst parts and made sure that we could avoid that too. And so what Ben has added to the company is that there's absolutely no question that we wouldn't even be sitting here. We wouldn't have the offices all over the place. We wouldn't have the success. We might only still have 2 offices.
You wouldn't have me?
Well, that's the one thing I wish you hadn't done.
Okay, I got you.
We all make mistakes, Aaron.
You're right. But no, the contribution, God, I just spit all over the place. Sorry about that. The contribution couldn't have been greater, because, I mean, I'm not trying to get too mushy here.
No,
whatever.
go ahead. Let it go.
No, I really mean that, though. It was transformational to what Village Caregiving was, to where it went and began to scale and do different things and have processes.
Sure.
And culture building. And a lot of what he said is just, that's why I just listening to this, it's really special to hear. It's just, that's cool. I mean, it's awesome.
I mean, just to go back to what Jeff said, those guys gave me an arena to come in and use creativity. They had trust in me. And so they allowed me to run wherever I wanted to do. I could go to any territory. I could go to Pikeville. We didn't have an office there. We could go to Lexington. I remember going into Pikeville and calling Jeff on the way down, be like, "Man, are you cool if we do this?" Like, he was like, "Yeah, just go. Just go."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, here we
Well,
go."
I mean, again, I can't be on the. I mean, you two have already made your allegiance clear here, but if there is, a couple knobs I can turn on this, it's that, one, you are notorious for not leaving a mess behind, right? When you go and launch Ashland, or you end up in Pikeville, and you spread throughout, when that gets transitioned over, and it comes over to operations, like, that is a well-ran machine when it's passed off. And there's been times where you've had to stay in longer to get it up and running where it should be. Other times it's, I guess it looks easy at least. But you have always done a great job. And I'm sure that's where that trust comes from, is that it's just one of those things that, if Ben's doing it, it's just done at an incredibly high level. And there's not going to be any of this, like, what kind of mess is left there. When my kids make breakfast for us, we're like, "Oh, that's super cool." The mess in the kitchen is obscene, right? But when that when Ben's on a project, that it's just going to be that way. And so that is my compliment to you. Now, you two, I maybe we've talked about this on the podcast before, but not with Ben. You guys have this weird situation that I found in just very surprising for me. Okay, this is serious. I'm not making this up. You guys will know where I'm going with this, but a year or so ago, I was in a meeting with a young director within our organization who was looking at growing, and they kind of leaned on me for some advice of some resources. They wanted to know kind of what could I recommended learning, growing, don't become stagnant, keep building, don't, keep doing reps. And they reached out to me after the lunch and said, hey, I would like to get a podcast referral of some sort. Like, give me some ideas on what I should listen to. I'd like to know a book that I should, what book would you recommend? And I mean, you guys have been incredibly instrumental in any growth that has occurred in my life, professionally, personally. I mean, I have changed processes in my personal life, in my friendships, in my business life, because of examples that you two have shared and that you have lived in front of me. And so I didn't want to mess this up with this guy. I mean, he was early in his path. And so I reach out to you two privately, separately, like, hey, I have this situation, here's who it is, and this is what they're looking for. If you now could go back and tell your 20-year-old self, what would you do? What book would you recommend? And you guys both recommended the exact same book, which was?
Well, probably 2 or 3 of them. Hard to say. I don't know, but.
Well, it was the book that we spent all.
Carnegie?
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of an excellent place to start.
It is. What's the book?
How to Win Friends.
Yeah, you can plug the book. Carnegie would probably give you some sales.
I want to say
It's been
one
around
thing.
100 years. I mean, I don't think it needs plugs.
I don't know if you remember this or not, but you introduced me to that book where, I don't know, we were in high school.
Really?
And Jeff is always highly intelligent. He reads a lot. And we were in high school, and he was like, oh, man, I'm reading this book, How to Win Friends and Influence Others. And I'm in high school. I'm like, okay, man. Weirdo.
Yeah.
How to win friends? Come on, mate.
Well, the last time he won a friend, he fought them. So maybe he thought there's a less aggressive way to.
So
Obviously,
5 years later,
self-improvement. Yeah.
I realized I'm reading that book.
You could maybe
so
read
I'm
it.
just like, oh, okay.
What was it? I mean, obviously we know your spin on that book. I say that because we went around the country talking about your preference for that book and why it was important. Well, why did you recommend that book?
I think it's a great person for someone to start in their professional career. I think it makes you reevaluate situations that maybe that you've been conditioned to think. I believe it allows you, I think it builds a strong foundation for you to open yourself up to other growth opportunities. There's no way you can go wrong with starting with that book.
I see.
So,
Okay.
By the way, for those who have not read How to Win Friends and Influence People, the title is something, I said this at the meeting, it makes it sound like this malicious thing almost, to trick people. That's how you're going to influence them. But the point of the book, when you go through it, is you win friends and influence people by being a genuine person, by caring about other people and valuing that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the way to get to the goal. And so much of that has probably influenced our culture. That's why we thought it was important enough to go around last August and talk about it. If you get to know the values that are sort of presented there, it's a baseline to understand the values of the company, which is be a good person, care about other people, listen to what they're saying. So I got to get that out there, because if you haven't read the book, it's so easy to think it must be a negative thing.
Sure.
one thing I'll say about reading too is that I remember my professional career when I started right out of college. I was with a finance company, and one of the guys I looked up to, and he told me this. He was like, hey, what you read now is what you become in 5 years. And I really paid attention to that. I was like, I need to make sure that I'm consuming the right material so I grow as a person and as a professional. So even if you don't read that book, I think that everyone should be reading and growing. I heard a quote the other day, maybe you said this or somebody said it, but readers are leaders. What was it? Leaders are readers, but not all leaders are readers. I don't remember. I screwed it up.
I see.
I probably said that.
Did you say
If
that?
it was just like that, no, I don't know.
I don't remember exactly what the quote was, but you do need to be developing yourself. I really encourage people to read as much as possible. So.
I'd like to know what you were reading 5 years ago in light of that.
Me?
Yeah. What made you this way?
Yeah.
Hey,
Well-
there's 5 minutes left. Let's go to the fishbowl. Of course, we should do a part 2 of this.
Well,
Sorry, host.
no. I mean, no. You asked. You asked a very intimate, personal question, and then said, "Let's go to the fishbowl." So, hey, let's go to the fishbowl, guys.
Well,
No, it's fine. We're in the fishbowl now. Hey, Ben, How long will it be until humans evolve an umbrella?
That's a good question. Who comes up with these?
What could a person mean when they say Ben? How long do you think it would be before a human evolves an umbrella?
I don't even understand the question.
Yeah, what, Jeff, could you take a stab at what the writer could mean here?
Well, I came up with the questions, full disclosure. So I'm
Did
walking
he read
around.
it right?
Yes, I read it right.
They would evolve an umbrella. The same way we now have opposable thumbs and
Oh, okay, I got you. I see it now.
Oh, yeah, now it makes perfect sense.
You know, sometimes people don't deliver things correctly. But yeah, I got it now.
like who like
Yeah. Okay, that's my fault. Go on with your umbrella questions.
well, I was walking around one day in the rain and people were seemingly pulling these umbrellas out of nowhere as if it were a part of their own body, and I didn't have one. Getting soaked, I'm getting a little bit jealous, and I'm just like, they're just taking them out. Like, was that thing in their leg? And then I start to think, surely sometime in 150 million years or something, if humans don't destroy the earth, we'll get to some animals have tails, weird things.
Yeah.
I think we could get to a point where just when it starts to rain,
Yeah, what happens?
a little hood
Really,
umbrella
a
comes
hood,
out.
if you will, a shell.
Let me ask you this.
No, I'm not.
Why do things evolve? It's just a natural process. Do you like walking around in the rain getting wet?
No.
Exactly. Your body probably doesn't either. It's going to throw a little umbrella out of your head.
Okay, I mean, it hasn't yet. I think that's important to note.
Well, it
but-
won't be you.
Okay.
I think my answer will be it will never happen. 'Cause
Oh, wow.
I think we'll evolve out of being human beings before that happens.
Like you're saying that climate change will destroy us as a race, but
I
AI
think
will
that-
be the new life form.
Yeah, AI will be the new
Okay.
life form.
Well, that's
That for some reason,
But
that
let's
actually makes
pretend.
more sense than the idea that we would evolve an umbrella. That whoop.
it. Might not be the best question in there. Pull one more. Let's do two.
Yeah. Oh, we're on fire now. So yeah, let's double in on this.
And by the way, I have that quote now.
Oh, what's the quote? I want to hear it.
Let's see here. Maybe I don't. Maybe
Oh
I
my
forget.
God, we are. What is the?
Oh, I
best-
got it.
Okay.
Went away. Sorry.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
What is the best thing about an Anytime Fitness gym? Oh, that's easy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's easy.
Anytime. I would say in case you have to go to the bathroom and you're on the road. That's all I got.
Now, I don't want to disclose too much information, but I know specifically that you had a gym membership in Lexington that you used the gym as access for a shower while we were launching the Lexington office.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, back
This
in the
is
day, I used to
smart.
sleep. I used to sleep in a lot of the offices. So
Yes,
I had to
that-
find somewhere to take a shower.
That is
man.
no joke.
Like I slept in
Yeah.
Pikeville a bunch. I've slept in Lexington. I've slept in a lot of these offices.
Anytime I have a director that says something to me along the lines of like, this space is really cramped, I think of a time when Ben Keenan was showering at a gym. Do you remember when you called me from Lexington one time because you had bought a mini fridge to keep your food in because you were hungry down there because you were living in a building we weren't supposed to live in and showering in a gym, and the mini fridge was broken. You had to take it back to Walmart. You were so, I never see you mad, but that day you were like lugging this thing into the back of your vehicle. You were so mad. Walmart wasn't taking it back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
so-
ended up throwing it away in the dumpster.
Yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, so Ben used to, when he would launch a location, he did it the way that Jesus wanted churches launched. I mean, he would go in and live within the community. Some people would call him homeless, but I mean, that's whatever you want to.
Well, it took a lot of hard work to get here.
Yes, it
I mean,
did.
we didn't have much money back in the day.
I didn't.
mean, the
I'm not-
business checking account was pretty low.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
mean,
judging. I remember Ben used to make us get discount used ink cartridges.
That means you're out of time, but we can go over.
You think we can go just a minute? Can we buy an extra 2 minutes? We have these.
I want to talk about why the best part of it.
Oh yeah, let me. Yeah, because
Oh, yeah, let's
yeah.
see this.
You know what it is? You can go anytime. And by the way, that includes never.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
There's no obligation to go.
If I were to say to you, Aaron, when do you think you're going to work out? Probably never. But well, I got the perfect
gym for you.
my friend. You can go anytime, never time.
Never time.
I guess if I worked night shift, that would be appealing to me, but I don't care if it's open 24/7.
Right, but if you had wanted to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:45 p.m., that's not the place for you.
That's
right?
not.
The allure is that you can go anytime.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the whole point.
Yep.
Wow.
I like it.
What? Just curious. What was you driving by and saw the name and thought, now that name says it all. That covers any question I could have.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Ben, I'm thankful that you came down.
Yeah, man.
I'm thankful that you joined the podcast. I'm confident that this won't be your only time on the podcast because there are layers to the Ben Keenan onion that I could just spend hours peeling back. I mean,
I'm ready to run it back right now. Let's do it again next week.
Do you think you could actually pull those layers
no,
back?
I don't. I don't at all. But we do have some stories, you and I do.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely, we've went on the road before. We used to go do all kinds of silly things when we were at Ashland together. So, but that's for another day. Ben, we appreciate you coming down. Jeff, as always, for your contributions.
I mean, they're valuable.
Yeah. Ben, thank you. Jeff, thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.